here's the unit. Now, it doesn't come furnished, so you'll probably have to do some furniture shopping.
When can I move in? My new apartment is really cool. Like, literally. The living room was designed with windows on opposite sides of the room, but in line with the prevailing winds of the area, which are pretty strong when you're like 10 stories up. So even on hot summer days, the airflow is often so good that the air conditioner isn't even necessary. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, and I'm staying in one of the non-master bedrooms, all to myself with nice housemates and no live-in landlord. Initially when I moved in, the room was furnished with a full-size bed and some miscellaneous tables and chairs and stuff were up for grabs from the previous tenants. But I slept on the provided mattress for like one night, but even after cleaning it and throwing down my own clean set of sheets, I still woke up all itchy and congested, so I just threw that thing out. I wasn't a fan of how little floor space there was available with this arrangement anyways, so I decided to downgrade to a twin bed. After all this time and the many past rooms, I've decided that I legitimately prefer a smaller size mattress in the first place. Actually, for a long time, I thought they were called twin beds because they were meant for 2 people to share. So I cleared everything out, took stock of the available furniture, slapped on the old Tetris glasses, and got to work. The dimensions of this room were kinda weird because there's this asymmetrical indent in the far wall. I'm not really sure why the windowsill was like 2 or 3 feet wide, but I was a fan. I thought of a few different arrangements, but what I settled on was this. I wanted a bed frame that would fit exactly in the wall indentation, such that my bed would line up exactly with the extended windowsill ledge thing. That way it could serve as a nightstand or an extra place to lie down. And I'd get some sliding dresser storage boxes to go under the bed for sheets and pajamas and stuff. There was a pair of desks up for grabs that I wanted to take and arrange in an L shape, so I'd have a little work cubicle. But when I was done, I could also move the monitor against the wall, so that the perpendicular desk could be used for any other purposes also. In my original plan, I'd have a chair inside the L, so then I could use cubicle mode for like official work or studies, but I could shift my laptop and my monitor over to the perpendicular desk when I wanted to convert it to art mode. That way I could work on drawings or music or editing from the comfort of my own bed and lie down every now and then while fighting art block. There was also this extended countertop thing that I took that happened to be basically the perfect length to go up against the right wall of the room without blocking the door. And I could store my laundry hamper under it and also just have extra table space for whatever. And in between this countertop and the foot of my bed frame would be just enough space for my guitar stand. And my amp could go up on the big windowsill. The wardrobe cabinet that the landlord provided would store most of my clothes and go up against the wall opposite the window, and there were enough shelves and space on top of this thing that I could store all of my miscellaneous items. So with this plan in mind, I measured everything one last time, then I headed off to buy my bed. I trialed basically every combination of bed frame, mattress, and mattress topper at IKEA, and I settled on this combination of the thinnest mattress pad plus this smushy mattress topper, which stacked on top of this one particular bed frame was not only really comfortable, but measured about 200 centimeters long and 48 centimeters high, almost perfectly matching the area to line up with a big window ledge, with about an inch of room for air. So I make my purchases all happy, get home, assemble the bed frame in the center of my room, and... Why doesn't it fit? And that's when I realized I had measured the room from about shoulder height, but at the bottom of the wall there was this baseboard that I didn't notice, which means that for all my measurements and plans, my bed was now 1 centimeter too long to fit in the spot. I was having such a bad day. I was irritated to say the least. And I didn't know what to do. I was thinking about like taking one of the kitchen knives and just hacking away at the bottom to just fit around the baseboard anyways, but that was gonna take forever and I don't know. I just gave up. I was so done for the day. I went to sleep in my crooked bed with all my stuff still not unpacked, and I figured I'd deal with it in the morning. And then the next morning, I got locked out. I stepped out to grab something downstairs real quick, and in the couple of minutes I was gone, my housemate left and locked the door behind him. So now I'm just sulking in the hallway, having woke up on the wrong side of the bed, locked out of my house with no way to contact my housemates, when all of a sudden, from over the horizon appeared my dad. "Hey son, Your mom told me that you were having trouble with the furniture, so I brought you this brick. 4 of them, actually. Just put them on the floor against the baseboard and stack your bed on top. It'll fit just fine. Hey, what you doing on the floor out here? I didn't even think of that. We just went out for lunch, and then a few hours later, somebody finally let me back into the house, and yeah, it totally worked. Thanks, Dad. I returned the mattress topper to the store, and now the bricks, bed frame, and mattress stacked up to be just about level with the windowsill. It's great! One of my favorite things to do in this room is to fold up my blanket and just stuff it in the corner of the big windowsill to make a comfortable place to sit. Almost like a pseudo beanbag. Then point my speaker at myself, throw that window open, and just chill there with a snack, a drink, my music, the breeze, and the view. It's really nice. And for finishing touches, I hung up some blackout curtains because even after all this time, I'm still low-key nocturnal. Then I wound my LED string lights around this window grate to basically turn the entire vertical surface into a light source of any color that I could switch on and off without getting out of bed. Kinda combining a few factors from several of the rooms I talked about previously. Later that night, I just laid in bed, alone, in my room, in the dark, having a peaceful moment to myself, and just reflecting on my life and everything I'd been through to get to this point. I mentioned it before when I was talking about my university dorm in the first part of this whole story, but this whole reflection time in the dark thing that I do is something I've just done when I have time to myself ever since I was a kid, actually. And it's kinda trippy, but hear me out. I feel like it almost creates like checkpoint saves in the RPG of my life, or like time portals. It's almost dreamlike, but sometimes it feels like I could close my eyes and when I open them again, I feel like I'd be back in any one of those previous rooms, or it feels like emotionally reloading my save file at any one of those checkpoint places. Of course, I know that I'm still in my current room in the here and now, but it just kind of brings back the emotional state of however I was feeling at those times. I don't know, maybe this sounds delusional, but it's just how I feel. Wonder if anyone else feels like this. I guess more commonly people journal or keep a diary for these kind of things. Ah well. And yeah, this is basically the current layout of my room. Here in this corner is where I shoot the sticky notes animatics that you see on my channel shorts. Funny enough, this story took me so long to produce that I was really worried that by the time I finished the video about moving in, I'd have already moved out again. But I'm actually gonna renew the lease. Planning to anyways. I know that probably doesn't sound like a big deal to most people, but if you couldn't tell by now, I move a lot. And this is the first time in my adult life that I've stayed in one place for so long. It's weirdly exciting in a boring way. Or boring in an exciting way? It's also kind of comforting. Like, for one, buying non-consumables doesn't feel so much like a burden in the making. And it's just kind of nice to be familiar with my area. So yeah, looking forward to at least one more year here if all goes well. Thanks for watching. The end.